Well, a very good morning, everybody, and a warm welcome to our Thomas and Thomas Investors Masterclass of 2018. We hope you have a lovely day. We're going to be looking at many different concepts and ideas today and sharing with you some of the things that we've been noticing over this year. One of the subjects which has really been very popular with our clients is ethical investing. And we thought it would be really useful for me to perhaps just share what our view is of ethical investing and what we're seeing our clients' view is of ethical investing. So we've basically broken up a presentation into two short parts for you. The first part now will last for about 7 minutes, and I'm just going to show you what we believe ethical investing is and how ethical investments are screened. And then the second part of our presentation will focus on how we construct an ethical investment portfolio and, perhaps most interestingly, how they've performed over the past. So the first thing I'd like to do today is really talk with you about how we view ethical investors and where they really fit into the spectrum of investments. Here you can see a slide that I've put together just showing you the investor's journey. And over on the far left, you can see where many of our clients would fit, and that's into the mainstream category. And that's where a client is quite fairly and reasonably saying, look, my priority is my financial plan. I need to know that I can grow my portfolio to help my family and to perhaps help my retirement, etc. However, there are other types of investment and there are other types of investors. Perhaps if we just go right over to the far right there, you can see the philanthropists, a lovely old Victorian word. A philanthropic investor is really someone who says, look, I'm really concerned about this particular area. I've made my money. I'm happy now to actually give away a part of my wealth to a cause that's close to my heart. And I don't really mind if I don't get any of my capital back. And I'm not really looking for a return. For me, it's all about helping that worthwhile cause. If we come back down the spectrum, you can see the letters ESG. This stands for Environmental Social Governance. And ESG has become quite a sort of a trendy word really, or phrase within the investment community of late. It's where fund managers say, we use an ESG overlay. And it's where we will say, well, we will make sure that all of the stocks that we invest into are behaving in accordance with some of the ground rules that we've set out. However, ESG is not ethical investing. If you come back up the scale and you look at the word impact investors will often be investors who, a little bit like the philanthropists, are very concerned about something within society. It could be that they're worried about the homeless people within their environment and they want to help them. And perhaps they've seen an opportunity to invest into housing for the homeless. In doing this, they are trying to help something, but they do also want to try and get back their capital and hopefully even get a return. I use the words try and hopefully because impact investing is riskier, but it is more rewarding, I suppose, for the investor. In the middle there you have ethical, and this is the area that many of our clients have been migrating to, interestingly, over the last few years for a couple of reasons that I'll share with you in a minute. Ethical investing is where we find a client comes to us and says, look, I still care about my financial plan. I still want to keep things on track, but actually, I really want to know, where am I invested? Am I doing any harm? Is there anything I could be doing better? Anything within society or the environment that I could be supporting better through my choice of investments? When we look at ethical investors, we've been able to group them into really two groups. Now, there's no generalization here, and there's certainly no right and wrong, by the way. Many people will overlap these areas, but what we tend to find is that investors are either very society aware or environment aware. So they'll either be worried about some of the great unfairnesses, perhaps some of the vulnerable within society, or they'll be concerned about the environment and particularly things like climate change and the high levels of carbon in our atmosphere, perhaps even plastic in the ocean, etc. What's really interesting to us at Thomas & Thomas is that every year we run a survey of all of our clients, both the mainstream, which makes up about 2/3 actually of our client base, and the ethical clients, which make up about 1/3. And we ask them all sorts of things about the way that we do things for them. This year we just slipped a question in there where we asked every client, how important is it for us to invest on your behalf for the benefit of society or the environment? We weren't sure what response we would get, but we were staggered by this. 94% of our clients said that they would prefer to invest for the benefit of society or the environment. Now, obviously, that's quite a raw fact, but it did cause us to stop and take notice. One of the things I come up a lot against, especially when I'm meeting with other colleagues within my profession, is a sort of a negativity towards ethical investing. A lot of people will say, yes, that's a nice idea, Darren, but how do you really know that you're actually investing ethically? How can you be sure? Well, the honest answer to that is you can never be completely certain when you're investing that absolutely everything within that portfolio would tick all the boxes for your client. But you can make a jolly good stab at it through firstly taking into account something called negative screening. Now, I've picked just a fun slide here to break things up, really. We don't actually hold a miserable-looking cat up at the portfolios and get him or her to choose, but the cat, in a way, just reminded me of the way that we do start the process when we're investing ethically for clients. We're very, very interested in the actual policies and procedures that are in place for the various funds. So an ethical fund manager will have an actual policy in place which states exactly what they will avoid. And we want to know what those are, and then we want to match them up to our clients. So things like tobacco, poor human rights, animal testing for cosmetics, pornography, high carbon, things like that all need to be screened out. And that greatly narrows down, actually, the amount of funds that we can use. We then bring in the playful puppy. I guess this is a little bit anti-cat, this presentation. I'm sorry about that. But you can see the rather happy dog. The positive screening is where we say, okay, we've now got rid of the bad stuff. We're content from checking this, that the fund managers have really stipulated firmly that they will be avoiding these areas completely. Now, what are they looking to actually invest into? Where are the good news stories for our clients? So one of the things that we do at Thomas & Thomas is once a year we send out an ethical survey to our ethical clients. Now the reason behind this is that as our business has grown, we found that we've got a lot more ethical investment clients than we used to have. And as a result, we don't really feel that we want to tell our clients what ethical investment looks like. We'd much rather they told us. So in addition to our individual one-to-one reviews with all our clients each year, we thought it would be quite fun to design a fast-paced and very visual survey which would enable our clients to filter through and quickly tell us what was important to them. So with the negative screening, we found that actually the most important thing to them was poor human rights. That was the thing that really worried them. And second to that, quite a close second, was animal testing for cosmetics. Perhaps the least of the negative screening worries for our clients was actually alcohol. They didn't seem too worried about that this year. On the positive side, I think David Attenborough and Blue Planet had a lot to answer for, and indeed our clients were very, very switched on to the climate change situation and wanting to make sure that our environment was being looked after. And so they want to see us trying to invest into projects and companies that will support the environment, either through renewable energies or through behaviours that help to reduce carbon, etc. And so we find this exercise incredibly useful because if we do find that we've got a fund manager that drops a particular area that they have been screening, we can then ask, okay, do we need to remove that fund manager, or actually, does it still fit with our clients' overall objectives? That concludes part one of today's ethical presentation. I hope it's been of use to you. I will now move on to part two. Thank you.